Someday, in the not-so-distant future, it happens. The moment you realize you're ready for anything. Get a degree in emergency management from Jacksonville State University and be ready for where you're going.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, May the 10th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and before I forget it, let me do a shameless plug for the Buck Creek Festival today. They'll be starting out early this morning with a pancake breakfast, but music starts at 10 a.m. and goes through 10 p.m. Here's a quick look also at radar just before 7 a.m. this morning. And it looks like the day is shaping up to be somewhat dry as rain has moved through the area. Skycam Network, there's a look at Birmingham, and certainly it looks like the rain is beginning to cease. And, of course, the rain has ceased down at Tuscaloosa, where it looks like things are drying out nicely. We do have a bit of an unstable atmosphere over the area, and I can't rule out the possibility of some showers this afternoon or into Sunday or Monday, but precipitable water values fall a good deal and into the 1.25 range. So I think while we might see an isolated shower, I think most of us stay dry. We have a little bit of a shortwave trough that is moving into the ridge that has been giving us good weather for about the last week and a half or so. And that shortwave trough will flatten the ridge, but the ridge builds back fairly quickly. Temperatures across the country are fairly mild for this time of year, with a lot of 60s, even all the way up into northern New York and Massachusetts. So nice weather for most of the eastern half of the country in terms of temperatures. The overall radar look showing that we do have that area of rain moving through central Alabama and south Alabama, where they've had a good deal more precipitation. As a matter of fact, a flash flood warning was issued for Lowndes County early this morning. You can see that we don't expect to see a lot of sun, but we may see some sun this afternoon. And depending on how much sun we see, that could be enough heating to help to destabilize the atmosphere, and we may get some isolated showers. But I think for the most part, again, we're going to stay dry. QPF for the next week or so shows, next 5 days actually, shows much of the action is off to our south and off to our west with the next system that will be coming in on Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe. Storm Prediction Center is not outlooking a slight risk for any area of the southeastern U.S., but they do have an area in the central plains states with the interaction with the dry line out there, parts of Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and some of the surrounding areas. All right, the 06 EGFS model run, and there's some interesting changes coming, but there's the pattern for today, the surface pattern for today, as we see moisture fairly plentiful, but again, I think that we'll see much of this rain that's moving through be the end of the rain for today, with maybe an isolated shower or two. That little upper trough that's moving into the ridge will move through today, and by tomorrow Sunday at midday, we see the ridge pumping back up again as that trough moves off the east coast. In the meantime, though, we're beginning to watch the next system that could have some interesting potential for us in terms of some colder air. We'll talk about that in just a minute. It looks like Sunday could be a dry day, as I think Monday will also be, with the ridge pumping up. You can see the main closed high over Georgia and parts of eastern Alabama. By the time we get out till Tuesday, that next system is beginning to bring an impact in the weather to us as it moves slowly but steadily eastward, and we see a pretty substantial cold front moving into the Mississippi River Valley on Tuesday. And I think once again we have the possibility of showers, but I think probably the greater chance will be as rain chances ramp up during the afternoon into the evening hours for us on Tuesday. Main day will be Wednesday as that trough begins to move across the Mississippi River Valley, and as it does, it'll bring that front closer to us and bring us, I think, what will be an excellent chance for some rain. And right now it looks like the possibility of some thunderstorms, but nothing appears to be any significant risk for severe weather, at least at this time, but we'll keep our eye on that one. Now, this is where changes begin to occur, and some very interesting changes, too. The GFS is a little more aggressive than the European. It shows a nice trough coming through the southeastern U.S., but there's a big trough digging in across Minnesota and Wisconsin that is going to dig southward. And so that should dry us out for the day on Thursday. But then on Friday, the GFS suggests that second short wave will close off into a closed low over southern Lake Michigan in the vicinity of Chicago. And that should bring some much colder air. Look at the 540 thickness line indicating where the colder air is, coming all the way down to Paducah, Kentucky. So the closed low, now there's differences here between the European and the GFS. The GFS is much more aggressive on the closed low, while the European maintains a pretty strong trough, but it doesn't close it off this far south. But you can see the closed low over pretty much in the vicinity of West Virginia for the center of it. And once again, we'll have, with that closed low, we could have some precipitation probably north of us, but that will mean some clouds. By the time we get out into voodoo country, the GFS is holding on to that closed low, while the European, again, is it's much more of a strong but open wave. And then when we get out to the final end of the period, the pattern has dampened quite a bit, although we still see the general troughiness over the eastern half of the country. This is around the 25th of May. So if this pattern develops as the GFS is suggesting, we could be into an extended period with below average temperatures for the middle and latter part of May. But it's voodoo country, so we'll see. Thanks for tuning into the Weather Xtreme video. I expect to have the next one posted first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, if you get a chance to come out to the Buck Creek Festival, I'll be emceeing that event out there today and would love to have you come by and say hello. Enjoy the music and all the free activities and great food, crafts, music, the duck race for charity, and be sure to come on out and just have a great time. Remember, there's no entrance fee for the event. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.